How's it going, everyone? After an absolutely loaded February of new game releases, guess what? We're back at it in March. We've got another month stacked with a lot of big releases. Maybe it's not as crazy as February. Honestly, though, like, some people are gonna say March is as stacked as February. This is also the month where the Xbox Game Studios on PlayStation, the Xbox Game Studios title on PlayStation, that kicks off in March, so that's a pretty big milestone to hit. So a lot of big titles, we got a lot to go over, a big free update coming as well, so we'll cover that. Now, before we get into this video, I just want to ask you guys, please like this video and do leave a comment with your thoughts. It really does help out the channel a lot, and it is much appreciated. But let's get right into it with, without a doubt, the biggest game release of March. There is no doubt whatsoever that Dragon's Dogma 2 is one of the biggest games, not only obviously of March, but of this entire calendar year. If you want to say that Dragon's Dogma 2 is your most anticipated game for 2024, I would say that is a completely valid choice. I mean, it's all opinions at the end of the day. Your most anticipated game could be SMT5 Vengeance or something like that. Not to slide on SMT5, but nonetheless, Dragon's Dogma 2, legitimately one of the most anticipated games of the year. A single-player, narrative-driven action RPG that challenges the players to choose their own experience from the appearance of their arisen, their vocation, their party, how to approach different situations, and more in a truly immersive fantasy world. Now, Dragon's Dogma 1 came out all the way back in 2012, and I think everybody that played Dogma 1 back then enjoyed the game. However, it seemed to not really resonate at a high level commercially. Then we got the PC release, then we got Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and even Nintendo Switch, and it seemed like a cult following had built for Dragon's Dogma, and over the years we had been clamoring for a potential sequel, and finally it was announced, and now finally it is releasing. Dragon's Dogma 2 looks to be an incredibly immersive open world action RPG with a sizable amount of content, a lot of replayability, some crazy chaotic boss battles as well. You're going to be fighting a wide variety of monsters. Visuals look great. Hopefully the game lives up to its expectations because there's a lot of high expectations for this one. Dragon's Dogma 2 releases on March 22nd. Next up, a major release on PlayStation 5, one that I am very excited for, Hi-Fi Rush, guys. I know Hi-Fi Rush is a game that if you look at the Xbox Game Studios titles, you're probably looking at a Halo, you're looking at a Gears of War. Yes, those are major releases, but I am telling you guys, Hi-Fi Rush is as good as any game that has been published by Xbox. It obviously was developed by Tango Gameworks within the Bethesda family. Bethesda acquired by Microsoft. You guys know how this game is played. Hi-Fi Rush was absolutely tremendous, and it's a marriage of an action game with a music rhythm title. And initially, looking at the game, I would be like, man, I don't know if this is going to work out that well. Boy, was I wrong. Tango Gameworks did a killer job with Hi-Fi Rush and created a compelling action game with a great soundtrack, cool characters, a great art style. Best of all, it was priced at $29.99, a budget price point for the game. I believe if you pre-order it right now with a PlayStation Plus subscription, you'll get it a little bit cheaper. On top of that, you get the Arcade Challenge update with the game as well. It's just a fantastic game, and I can't wait that more people are going to be able to experience one of 2023's gems. Not really considered to be one of 2023's Game of the Years, but man, I would put it right up there with some of the best releases of 2023. An absolutely excellent game, and definitely, if you have yet to play it, a lot of reason to check out Hi-Fi Rush. Just a fantastic game. Next up, a PlayStation 5 exclusive coming from Tecmo Koei and Team Ninja, we have Rise of the Ronin. This has been in development for a little bit as well, being done by an incredibly talented studio in Team Ninja. They've done the Neo titles. This one more of an open world narrative-driven action RPG. Take up your sword as a masterless warrior and explore a historically inspired open world vision of Japan at a pivotal moment in time as East and West collide, ally with, or eliminate key figures and shape the country's future through a multi-choice system with far-reaching consequences as well. Face your foes with a variety of melee and ranged weaponry, commanding unique special moves to prevail in combat. Immerse yourself in a 19th century Japan with PlayStation 5 console features. Feel the impact of combat with haptic feedback through the DualSense wireless controller and experience the click of your matchlock rifle's trigger and more through the DualSense's wireless controller's adaptive triggers. Hear the world around you as well. Get straight into the heart of the action. Game from a visual standpoint looks great. Looks like it's got some incredibly stylish action gameplay, and you'll have a wide variety of difficulty options to partake in. Obviously, Team Ninja being known for doing Neo, you might be wondering, is this going to be a super challenging game? Well, it can be. You can play it at the hardest difficulty, or you can play it at the more accessible story-based difficulty, or you can play it at the more accessible story-based difficulty, or for most people, I think regular is going to be the route you want to go. Rise of the Ronin drops on March 22nd, and yes, it does release the same day as Dragon's Dogma 2. That is going to be one insane day of new game releases. Next up, we have Alone in the Dark. Alone in the Dark is a game that saw quite a few delays, initially scheduled to drop in October, then it got pushed to January, and now it'll finally be dropping in March 20th, so right before the release of Dragon's Dogma 2 and Rise of the Ronin. Gonna be quite a bit of competition for this one, and that's why it initially got pushed from October, because there was so much competition. At least this time around, it's not a case of Alan Wake 2 coming out right around the same time, and that's a survival horror game, but nonetheless, this love letter to the groundbreaking original lets you experience a haunting story through the eyes of one of two protagonists. Play as either Edward Carnby or Emily Hartwood as you explore your environments, fight monsters, solve puzzles, and uncover the uneasy truth of the manor. Expect an atmospheric psychological horror title as Alone in the Dark drops on March 20th. Next up, not a brand new game release, but I think this is a major update that warrants to be covered, and that is Marvel Spider-Man 2's free New Game Plus update. Not only will New Game Plus be coming March 7th, but you'll also be getting the release of various new suits. This is Marvel Spider-Man 2 version 1.002, which will bring New Game Plus to the game, and suit styles for several of Pete's symbiote story suits in the game, allowing you to further customize your look. Marvel Spider-Man 2 is obviously one of the games that I imagine many of you have already picked up, one of the better games of 2023. In the mix for Game of the Year, but comfortably like number 3, number 4, number 5, around that range. A really well-received game. Of Marvel Spider-Man 2's free update drops on March the 7th. Next up, while we talk about Xbox Game Studios, most of the attention in March is going to be centered around Hi-Fi Rush, but also published by Xbox Game Studios, now coming to PlayStation 5, is As Dusk Falls. Now, this PlayStation 5 version will be published by Interior Night, so I guess Xbox published the game with a timed exclusivity agreement, but the game will now be coming to PS5 as well. Explore the entangled lives of two families across 30 years in an original interactive drama from Interior Night, starting in 1998 with a robbery gone wrong. The characters' lives depends on the choices that you make. The game is incredibly narrative-driven, has a really slick art style as well, and now As Dusk Falls will be released on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 on March the 7th. Next up, very excited for this JRPG, we have coming from Vanillaware, Unicorn Overlord. Vanillaware's been a little bit quiet over the last few years. We haven't been sure what they were working on. Their last game, 13 Sentinels, came out all the way back in 2020, but now we've got their latest game in Unicorn Overlord, once again employing that typical Vanillaware slick art style and presentation. Great aesthetics can be had with this game. However, a little bit different from a gameplay standpoint, being a fantasy tactical RPG, something that's going to be right up the alley of a lot of you guys. Unicorn Overlord combines the timeless tactical RPG genre with overworld exploration and innovative battle system for a unique epic fantasy experience in the iconic Vanillaware style. Traverse a vibrant world, assemble units, and direct them into exquisitely animated battles, perform heroic deeds, and grow renown throughout the 5 nations, and cultivate a grand army with over 60 unique characters from humans and elves to massive beasts and heavenly angels. All of that comes with Unicorn Overlord on March the 8th. By the way, a free demo is available right now, so certainly go check that out if you're currently not sold on the game. Next up, here's another huge release, one of March's biggest releases coming from Aspyr. We have Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection. Yes, there's been a little bit of controversy with the mod being utilized in the game. Looks like that might have been just for the trailer. Whatever the deal is, guess what you got with Star Wars Battlefront Collection? You've got Star Wars Battlefront 1, you've got Star Wars Battlefront 2, you've got them in one collection. You've got online 64-player multiplayer refined. Guys, this is gonna be one to keep your eyes on. I imagine that this is gonna do incredibly well. The Classic Collection includes Battlefront 1, includes the bonus map of Jabba's Palace, And on top of that, you got Battlefront 2 includes a bunch of bonus maps and bonus heroes in Asajj Ventress and Kit Fisto, Traverse the Galaxy in campaign mode, and Galactic Conquest. Galactic Conquest has you devise your strategy, recruit your troops, and execute your tactical vision for conquering the galaxy. Star Wars Battlefront campaign, experience iconic battles from episodes 1 through 6, and then Battlefront 2, join the rise of Darth Vader's elite 501st Legion of Stormtroopers. Massive locations with up to 64-player online support and expanded hero assault mode as well. All of that is coming to PlayStation 4 and 5 March 14th. And it will be coming at a budget price point of $35. Cannot wait to revisit Battlefront 1 and 2. And I'm not incredibly nostalgic about my experiences with Battlefront 2. I just didn't play them as much as a lot of other people growing up. And I'm incredibly excited about it. So for those of you that grew up playing Battlefront 2, I know how incredibly excited you are about it. And Battlefront Classic Collection will be dropping on March 14th. Next up, we have the Legend of Legacy HD Remaster. You know, a lot of competition these days for your dollar and for your JRPG money. Legend of Legacy HD Remaster is coming out in a time with a lot of other big JRPGs, but it's another one to keep on your radar. Beautifully improved graphics and image quality, shine in HD. The new guidebook function makes it easier for newcomers to get started. Explore a world map bursting with storybook charm. When characters move, the surrounding terrain springs to life like a pop-up picture book. A great art style. A sleeper JRPG released on the 3DS now makes its way to new platforms. The Legend of Legacy HD Remastered drops on, yes, March 22nd, the same day as Rise of the Ronin and Dragon's Dogma 2. I would not like to be that game right now, but, you know, it is what it is. I'm sure JRPG fans will find some time to play that game as well. Next up, we have Mars 2120. Mars 2120 is a Metroidvania with a mix of melee and rage combats inspired by classics like Super Metroid, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Guacamelee. Help Anna 13 Charlotte battle her way through the secrets of Mars. You've got a throwback Metroidvania gameplay style here. Mars 2120 is scheduled for a release in March. Next up, we got South Park Snow Day. Play as the new kid in South Park and join Cartman, Stan, Kyle, and Kenny in a three-dimensional glory to celebrate the most magical day in any young child's life, a snow day. South Park Snow Day has you play with up to 3 friends, use matchmaking, or solo the game with ally bots and battle through the snow-piled town of South Park. Engage in frantic action-packed combat against warring factions in an all-new story where you make the rules, equip unique weapons, and deploy devastating upgradable special abilities on a new adventure to save the world and enjoy a day without school. South Park Snow Day will be released on March 26th. Next up, we have ABRISS Build to Destroy. ABRISS is an atmospheric physics destruction building game. Build structures from parts to let them crash into your targets. Unlock new parts, destroy more. Witness entropy at its worst in Digital Brutalist, a cityscapes built to destroy. The game dropped in September on PC. Very positive reception, 351 reviews, 86% positive reviews on Steam. And it drops on PlayStation 5 in March. Next up, we have Highwater. Highwater is a really cool game. Earth has flooded and the planet is doomed, but there's still time to enjoy the view. Guide Nikos and friends through the flooded world of Highwater and beyond in the story-driven adventure game where they'll have to fight for their chance to escape. Great art style in this one as well. Looks like an incredibly atmospheric game. Highwater drops on March 14th. Next up, we have Bulwark Falconeer Chronicles. Bulwark Falconeer Chronicles is an open-world builder with freedom and expression at its core, allowing players to build sprawling town spires and fortresses that become hubs for trading or rallying grounds for conquest. Bulwark Falconeer Chronicles drops on March 26th. Next up, we have Contra Operation Galuga. The legendary Contra series returns this reimagining of the classic run-and-gun action game from the 80s. Features new stages, new enemies, new player mechanics, and co-op combat for up to 4 players. Think what you want of Konami these days. I do appreciate them going back to their classic franchise and doing new titles. Run, jump, and shoot your way through 8 levels using a devastating arsenal, including the spread shot, laser, and homing missiles. Now with stackable upgrades and awesome overload abilities, the intense action is customizable with 3 difficulty settings plus a variety of additional challenge options. Contra Operation Galuga drops on March 12th. Next up, we have the Outlast Trials. Been available on PC for quite a while in early access, now sees its full release on PlayStation 5. Red Barrels invites you to experience mind-numbing terror, this time with friends. Whether you go through the trials alone or in teams, if you survive long enough and complete the therapy, Murkoff will happily let you leave, but will you be the same? The Outlast Trials finally hits PlayStation 5 in March. And lastly, we have REVEIL. REVEIL, coming from Daedalic Entertainment, is a narrative first-person psycho-thriller game that focuses on story, puzzles, and exploration. Find out what's going on inside Walter Thompson and what his dark past at the Nelson Bros Circus has to do with it. Looks like an atmospheric horror title. REVEIL drops on March the 6th. And that is gonna do it for me. Again, a stacked month of upcoming titles in March. And really, when you look at it, from the most anticipated games like Dragon's Dogma 2, Rise of the Ronin, Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection, to sleepers like Unicorn Overlord and As Dusk Falls, there's a lot to sink your teeth into, and I wouldn't be finished with this video if I don't give another shout to Hi-Fi Rush. That's a game all of you should absolutely play. That's gonna do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.